I did. Finish the rest.
Good morning.
Hi,
Good morning.
everybody.
I better give this to you, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, turn on your microphone. Hey, it's Friday, TGIF. Look at, there's Diane's daughter and a son-in-law and a couple of grandsons, 2 of her 7 grandsons, and that means Diane's here today, and we're so excited.
Good
we're
morning.
continuing with Enchanted Autumn, and Diane's here today, and she's going to show you her projects. And you know that means a lot of stuff, right? Lots of, look at all this fun stuff. So good morning, everyone. We're so happy you're joining us, and we're so glad it's Friday. We've got another day with our exclusive Enchanted Autumn collection. And if you haven't picked one of those up, we're celebrating our 20 years, and we had this designed as part of our celebration. We're doing a lot of stuff, aren't we, Diane?
Right, and the only thing that's left is just the paper pack without the die.
Yeah, we don't have the dies
The
left, but we've got
dies.
plenty of the paper
Yep.
packs, so no problem there at all. And we have a few new things to show. Oh, and Dawn's here.
I'm back.
Hey, Dawn. We have a few new things to
Do you
show,
want this?
and we'll do that real quick. And then we also have a treat from Penny. And a lot of you watched Penny yesterday, and she really did it with scrapbooking. She did it for me. I would never have cut my paper up first because I worry I'm going to want to do something different or cut it differently, or I might need that. So Penny's got us all thinking about our next scrapbooking project. And it's got me thinking about it. How about you, Dawn?
Yes, yes. I thought it was really fun, and if I'm going to scrapbook a ton of pages, I'm going to use that method.
I know. Yeah, and you're going to have to clear off your dining room table.
Yeah, in my kitchen table.
Put all the leaves in for sure. So well, we got a couple new things to show, a couple reorder things. And then we'll get started with Diane, and then Penny will be here.
Okay. Well, back in stock is the Tula and Norbert Sweet as Honey. The bumblebees were definitely a hit for the summer of 2021, and we've got a couple of them back in stock. So if you didn't get one, now is your chance.
Combine bees and gnomes, and you've got it made.
Yeah, it's just an adorable,
It's probably
adorable
the last
collection.
time we're going to have those. I'm guessing we're going to.
We've moved on. We've moved
got
on.
Other things coming in.
And then we do have the stamps and the coordinating dies. So if you didn't get those, is that a little blurry? If you didn't, or
It's throw them around.
if you didn't get them, now's your chance. And Katie has done some amazing Copic coloring with these that were really, really cute.
Now, Dawn, Corrine has already started cutting her paper up last night.
Oh my gosh!
I think Penny really influenced a lot of us scrapbookers yesterday.
Well, Corrine, I take pictures.
yeah,
I would love
send us
to
post
see
pictures in the comments.
to see
So
them.
did Beth.
Oh,
Beth did also.
my
Said
gosh.
Penny's going to be proud of her.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, the ephemera from the Sweet as Honey, Tula and Norbert's, is back in stock.
Those birdhouses. It's just so cute. It was such a popular.
I think for any summer layouts, it's just really adorable. Adorable.
Very cool.
Okay, and
Oh my gosh.
I'm so
I hope
excited.
Katie's watching.
We got in the 4x6 line journal cards from Project Life. I know we keep saying they're discontinued, and they are, but I keep finding them.
It's not a ploy. They
I
really
keep
are.
finding them everywhere, and I just order them in, and they come. I'm surprised. But here we are. We've got a few more. They're $8.99, and you get 100. And then you can cut these in half. You can do whatever.
The 3x4s we definitely can't get anymore. Isn't that right, Dawn?
Yes, we
In
have the
lines.
grid.
We can't get the line, but if you cut these in half, you've got it all taken
Then
care
you've got
of.
your 3x4. Okay, and the micas. Were these out of stock? And then we got in our second shipment.
Yeah, we got in our second shipment, the new Tim Holtz.
Mica sprays, the distressed mica sprays, and we got them in the both collections, and A and B.
Warm and cold or whatever,
Yeah.
however he's doing it.
They're gone.
Yeah, those are gone and gone.
And then we got the distressed texture set, and then also the sparkle set is in. Finally, we've been waiting
That
for
just
that.
came.
Yes, and that's got the glitter and then the mica flakes.
Okay,
Love that.
Myra wants to know if we're getting back in the die for the paper pack. I'm guessing, Myra, are you
That,
meaning this one from Sweetest Honey? And we do have it. We've got the die set.
That cuts the gnomes out of the paper.
Cuts out the gnomes out of the paper, or the stamp set. So we do have that. We'll have to make sure it's online. Maybe it's not online.
Oh my gosh, I just saw. Yay!
Dawn had a squirrel moment.
I did.
All right.
The Grinch stamps came in. We ordered these quite a while ago, so I'm excited that they came in. I didn't see Diane open that box up yesterday.
It did. It came 10 minutes
Diane
ago.
did it this morning.
Oh,
She
no
did
wonder
it.
I didn't see it.
She does it all. She does it all. And we've got samples that Katie made with the stamps.
Here's the samples.
She colored with her Copics, or you could use watercolor or Tombows.
So
The face, I love the face,
These
Dawn.
just make really fun cards, and we've carried these the last couple Christmases, but they're just, the Grinch is always so popular. And those are $19.99. And are those probably under stamps and miscellaneous?
Or Christmas, maybe under Christmas.
Diane's going to go let us know.
Will you look at this one too? I think it's online.
Okay, and then new Sizzix dies came in. This is a great alphabet because look, you just run your cutting plate through and it cuts out all of the letters. And this might also be a good cutting plate for my ABC State Fair album now that I'm thinking about it. It would be a fun background.
You know, I would just cut out, you're right, you just run it and cut it a couple times, then you'd have everything you need for most things.
Yeah, just put it in a little tray and pull out your letters.
Christmas and miscellaneous stamp vendor.
Okay, so this the Grinch is under miscellaneous stamp vendors, stamps and miscellaneous, and then Christmas.
Or type in Grinch and it's going to come up
Okay.
in the search bar.
So this one is called Hand Drawn Alphabet, $16.99.
It looks hand-drawn.
This one is called Wild Blooms Number 1.
And flip it over because
Yeah.
they're really big. I saw this today, Dawn, and guess what?
I think the
I think I want
leaves.
that.
Yeah, of course you do.
It's kind of big. That's why I like it.
It is big.
The
I want to open this one
The
up.
question they're asking about the die for our Enchanted Autumn. I don't think we can get those anymore, can we?
I believe I might be able to get. I didn't realize they were gone. As of yesterday, we sell the last one. Look at those. That's fun. Okay, so this is called Wild Blooms Number 1. Okay. If you still want the die that comes with the Enchanted Autumn, we'll have to check to see if that is still available.
Yeah, just give us a call or send us an email and we'll know that you want it, and Dawn will see if we can get it.
Do we still have them with the collection packs? Oh, those are gone too? Oh gosh. I feel like I'm
Give that to Diane. Dawn's that die and it's not working well. Sorry I wasn't videotaping that, everybody.
okay, this is called Flowers with Envelope. It's $12.99. And
name.
It's really cute. It makes that little, I think just for
And
the
they
envelope
fold.
alone.
I know, I'm tempted.
For $12.99, just
Ooh,
the
is that
envelope
right?
alone would be awesome. And then all those flowers and leaves. So let's see, the envelope measures, well, 5 7/8 by 4 5/8.
It's
so
only $12.99.
yeah, but we'll have to cut one
I like
because
it
the
'cause it
size.
folds.
I bet that holds a gift card when it's folded up.
Oh.
I bet it does.
Well, I think we're going to have to order more of those also.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes we order them by looking at little tiny pictures
Yeah.
on the computer.
Okay.
So, oh,
awesome.
Diane's so sweet checking that. It's good to have her here.
All
Always
right.
is. All right, well, Dawn, I think we're ready for Diane, and Penny will be here in a little bit. And remember, if you were interested in that die that came with Enchanted Autumn, to call us or send us an email, and we'll put you on the list. You
Good
do look
morning,
super cute
friends.
today. She's matching our...
We're getting Diane mic'd
See,
up
look.
here. Oh, that we
That
tend
was
to
so
do
planned.
that. We tend to do that here where we match our our projects, or maybe we're just drawn to colors that we like to wear too.
Yep,
That's kind of fun.
I love gold.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Maybe.
Yeah, she is.
That's
My
funny.
least favorite thing to do.
None of us really like to be in front of people, but you know, it's just a camera.
Likes it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Well, when I first started trying to decide what I was going to make, I was walking around the store and I found two products that I loved and I wanted to use. So that was my inspiration. So the first one is a package of frames from Tim Holtz. They're called Curio frames. And you get 6 different designs in them, and they're just sweet little frames. I'm kind of into frames lately.
These are neat.
Yeah. And then the other product I loved when it first even came in was the 49 and Market clips. I just love things like this and the color, and I had no idea what I was going to use them for, but I bought them. So those were my inspiration for my page. So the other thing that I've really enjoyed doing is stitching. I've made a lot of folios lately, and I've stitched on
And she's going to share those with us.
several things sewing. And my sewing machine is really old. It's one that Dawn and I bought, 50 years ago?
Long time ago.
And it actually misses stitches here and there, but for what I need, I love the way
It's
it looks.
perfect. It's perfect. It doesn't. So get out your old sewing
Yep.
machines, even if it's not perfect, because
And
it
I
looks
hate
great.
the back of it looks really bad. So,
But that doesn't matter because
yeah.
it's going in an album.
so sewing is I love. It's just a nice added. Gives it a lot of dimension, and I was able to. I brought black in because I really like the way the black
it sets it
thread.
off.
It really does set it off. So we always go to the pumpkin patch every fall with the kids and the grandkids. So I knew I had pictures. So I found one. This is our youngest daughter and her family. So I just started playing around, and I had the 49 and Market frames. These are the newer ones that came in. We're out of the older ones, but the newer ones actually have stitching on them.
Real stitching.
Real
and it's
stitching.
perfect. The black.
Yep. Or we have the 4x6 file frames, which have the little tabbies. They're both the same, and I think that is
there's
and
the
the
square.
square.
So
These
they
are just awesome. I just love
So they're
them.
just different size squares,
Yep, with
and-
the ragged edges and
and these are actually stitched.
yep. 49 and Market have just hit it for me. I just love their products.
And then the rectangle frames start out at maybe like 3x5 and go up to 4x6. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that's how it started. This is the border from the border page. I loved that border. And then I found a picture of all the boys holding pumpkins, and I sized it down to fit into the frame that I wanted. So these are kind of shiny for me. I'm not kind of into shiny stuff. So what I did, I'm going to show you how to alter that and make it not quite so shiny. So what I did is I took the file folder, or the file, and I just started sanding. I sanded off some of the color, but made it kind of rough looking, and it's really easy. Kind of tone down that shininess.
While Diane's sanding, Lori is wondering if you would share your grandchildren's scrapbooks again, Halloween, Christmas, birthday.
I can do that.
All right, so that's a yes.
Have to remind me.
She'll bring those in. My first sewing machine has my paper needle in it and stays it in there. 31 years old. Wow,
Yeah.
Michelle, that's awesome.
I finally just bought a new needle for my
Oh my gosh.
machine after 20 years.
Yes, Jennifer, her machine's 50 years old. Absolutely, get it out. Chore boots. Oh my gosh, Beth, you are hilarious. She goes, if it helps you feel comfortable on live, I'm in PJ's chore boots eating pickles. Jeez, Beth. Oh my gosh, you guys are the best. You just, oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Ask your. I scrolled back to see questions, and if I missed it, ask it again, and I'll try to. I didn't want to interrupt Diane.
Okay, so what I'm doing, I just sanded it. You can see I sanded some of the finish off. Now what I'm going to do is take the alcohol ink Sunset Orange and put it on my felt. So using alcohol ink, they have alcohol ink felts, and you can put it on a handle or you can just
Oh my
put
gosh.
it in your hand.
Okay, Becky had a great tip. She said you can also use the matte medium and rub it on it to get rid of the shine. Great tip, Becky. Thank you.
Didn't think of that. So what I did is I just kind of put a different color on there because I wanted it kind of to match the paper. And it's that easy. Now remember, you can change a lot of different things using alcohol ink.
Yes, Maggie, you can learn how to sew at 70 years old. You're never too old to learn.
So then my favorite alcohol ink color is mushroom. So then I just add a little mushroom to it, kind of put another color on there.
That really tones it down too.
So it's that easy to do. And there is your altered frame.
And again, that's right here. And this is, do we have an original one? And this is what they look like unaltered. This is the altered.
Yeah.
Okay, here. So again, you can change the color.
Oh yeah, you can sand it all down and like they said, use matte medium
Or put gesso on it.
and change it completely and use alcohol ink. Or you could even paint it using paint and then sand the edges to make them look more vintage. So that is the way my inspiration for this page. So then I got out my 49 in Market frames.
Okay.
And found a paper to kind of match the background in their picture.
And that's this paper in the collection pack.
Yep. And then with the frame too, I sanded it a little. And then
Diane really likes things vintage.
Yep.
And old looking.
And then I used spiced marmalade. Ooh, that looks really inky. And I didn't do the whole thing. I just did it sparingly, like that. And then my brown ink that I like to go to is Gathered Twigs. So that's as easy as it comes to altering your frames. And if you don't like them altered, you just can use them plain. I would have to ink it a little to match whatever background you're using. So you can look at your frames in a whole different light now.
And Wendy, it doesn't matter when you're sewing on your pages, because really, if you're wanting that vintage old look, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah,
so
wait
don't be
until you
afraid
see these books. My sewing machine was doing a lot of weird things, but it looks really cool when you're doing vintage stuff.
Elena says if you like old, you'll love her.
I would love to meet you, Elena.
Oh, Beth said she sewed herself to her project one time. Oh my gosh. Okay, Dorothy, maybe I told Maggie, were you the one I said to bring in your sewing machine and do a project with it for us?
Teresa did.
Teresa brought her sewing machine in.
Somebody just did sewing on a project.
Teresa
didn't
did.
I have
Okay.
2 sewing machines. I need to just leave one here and.
Yeah, that would be fun. We need a demo with sewing machine. Okay.
Okay, so then I started laying out my page, and I got this. I layered my picture with 2 different colors from the background of our paper. I always love to layer. I just love adding and adding. So then I had saw this technique once, and I used it in my Christmas book, and I loved this saying right here. So I just
That's from the
tore out a piece and kind of rolled it back and inked it, and then I stuck that in and I tore it at the top, and then I thought adding that clip at the top, like it's holding that in,
Very cute.
was a good way to use that clip. Now you might not want to put that in your scrapbook, but this will probably be a page that I'll give to my daughter and she can display it. If we were ever to put it in a book, I think I would take that off.
Sure.
But if you have it as a home decor piece, it's like perfect.
Yeah, it adds a lot.
Okay, so then the next thing I used was these tiny clips from Tim Holtz, which I've used several times. And I made, let's see, I cut out,
This right here.
yep, I fussy cut that out.
Fussy cutted.
Fussy cut it.
Oh my goodness. So
And
she
then-
cut around it.
Yep. And then I made, take this off, I made a little journaling spot. And I put the boys' names and age, and then where we were and the date.
Cute.
So that is that. And
And
I,
use the little clip to close
Yeah.
it. Adorable.
Yeah.
And again, if Jana decides to put that in an album, she can take that clip off
yep.
because that might poke her page or her page protector. But I love
But when
this
you're setting
layout.
it out, you know, the more dimensional, the better.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that was my page that I made using with the inspiration. And really look at your stuff and it doesn't always have to be used the way it was intended to use. So
Exactly.
that's a segue for the next project that I did. Again, I was walking around the store trying to figure out a home decor piece. And I came across these. And these were intended to be banners. But they're kind of big for a banner, so I was trying to decide what else I could use or make with this. So I started playing around and I decided to turn it like that. And then I had some scraps that I had made a couple other things. So I started paper piecing on here, and I really, really liked it. I just cut some, or I had some already cut, but this, my focal point was this right here. I put that in the middle, and then I kind of did a patchwork around it with just other pieces.
Just your scraps.
Yep. This is a great saying, and that's from your paper,
cut-apart
the
paper.
cut-apart paper. And then it needed something else, so I just started looking at the paper, and I decided I wanted to use this. So I cut that out. I mounted it or put it on a piece of chipboard to make it a little stiffer, and then just started layering. And again, I took one of the frames, the 49 and Market frames, inked it, and then framed the saying.
I thought that was a great technique. It just added a whole nother layer. I would not have thought to do that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then added Nouveau drops.
Yep,
in
the
corners.
bottle green. And then I decided still needed something over here, so I added some banners using the banner punch,
Awesome.
which was real easy, and I just kind of layered them in some of the colors I had laying on my table. and it's done. And then I just took some ribbon. I took these 3 silk ribbons, which I love. And those colors were like perfect, so I just made a fussy bow.
Those are great colors.
Tied it with the 2 holes that were already there. And we are selling these for $1. And they're online under miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous surfaces or under mixed media?
I don't know.
Kelly. Well, look.
Oh, look.
I think it might be under mixed media and then surfaces, hopefully.
Yeah.
Is where that should be.
Let's see. So,
But then
I did a fussy bow, and then I had to add, again, these are, if you don't have these are great. I hope he never takes those away.
Loop pins.
Loop pins. Oh, and another thing that I had seen as I was walking around were these acorn charms from Prima. And they're called they're from the Pumpkin and Spice collection last year, and we were able to get more of them in. So again, they're shiny. And how I took my mushroom ink, and all I did is put a little on my applicator here, and voila, it takes
Boy, that
away.
toned it down
Yeah.
a lot.
And if it's too much, then just wipe it off, and you can always add more. But it just takes that shininess away from it.
Love
And then
this.
I added the beads from Prima also, which I just love. These have the holes in them. Some of them you get don't have holes, but these have holes. And again, if you don't want those colors, you just use alcohol ink to change the colors.
And she did that. And
Yep.
I'm going to try to pull this out so they can see what you all got on your...
So I have the acorn charm, the beads, and a button.
And you colored your bead
Yep.
in what was that color?
Probably the
Orange.
sunset. Yeah.
Sunset orange.
Yep.
Okay.
Or the gold. You could use a gold or the green or even purple.
And then she just strung a couple buttons on there too.
Yeah.
Really fun. Everyone's loving this.
Thank you. So that just added a little touch over here.
And Elena, she also saves her loop pins off of tags on new clothing.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I do too.
Yep.
I do too. I save all that.
Yep. Definitely.
You betcha. You betcha.
So then we have these easels that we've carried for a long time, but I wanted it a different color to match my project. So I painted it with fossilized amber
okay.
paint or whatever color you want.
Uh-huh.
And then I inked it then with the gathered twigs.
Cool. And
So
it
now
looks
it matches
like it's been
my-
around.
Yep. And you could even sand it to make it even more vintage looking. But now it matches my project.
Awesome.
So they're real easy to paint.
Yeah,
or
they're just
I think
a
you
plain
can probably
wood.
even ink them too.
I think Maggie has inked hers.
Yeah, and we also have black. And we have a couple of different sizes, but
Yes, Lori, you can color your buttons. You can color them with alcohol inks. Also, if you don't have the color you want, just color them with alcohol inks.
alcohol inks can be your best friend.
They can color
Yeah.
a lot.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
Let's see.
Your
Anything
circles
else?
you used with bow. Can you show how to make bows and what are circles you use with bow? I'm not sure what the circles mean.
So, I think Maggie I don't know what she calls this kind of bow. Maggie, what kind of bow do you call this when a fussy bow or like
Foo-foo bow?
Oh, a foo-foo bow.
Maggie calls it a foo-foo bow.
So I took all 3 colors and I just wrapped them around my fingers, kind of spread out, depending on how wide you want it. You cut it, and then you tie it in the middle.
And she just used
And-
other ribbon,
Yep.
more of this ribbon to tie
Yep,
it in the middle.
And then just spread your loops out, and there is your fussy bow. It's that easy.
Super
There's
easy.
Nothing complicated about it. And you can make it as thick or just a couple times around it, but I probably did about 3 times around to make that bow.
And again, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that loop pin is holding 2 buttons, a pearl, and then the acorn charm.
Yep.
Oops, sorry, I'm just going to try to pull that out. There you go. There you go. Yeah, love that.
And this ribbon is silk, so it just gathers. It's not stiff at all.
It's beautiful. It's yummy.
If you use stiffer ribbon, it might be a little harder to use, but this is just the best ribbon. And we have it in a lot of different colors. So you can always call us and let us know what color, or we can tell you what color we have.
Well, Jan, I shop at TJ Maxx to get my clothes because that's my budget too. But a lot of times the tags that are on your clothing is put on with a loop pin. They don't
Yep.
use those plastic things anymore. They kind of use these loop pins. And so save those off of your clothing to put on your mixed media projects.
So a funny story about tags. We have an acreage and we have a horse, so my husband has to go get hay every once in a while. So at the last auction, they have tags on them for numbers. So he bought bundle number 24. So he had came home, took it off, stuck it in his pocket, and threw away in our bathroom waste paper bag.
Rich, you got to know better than that.
And I took it out because it had the number 24 on it. So I thought, oh, I'll use that for Christmas.
New Year's Eve, absolutely.
Yeah. Christmas Eve, not New Year's Eve.
Oh, Christmas Eve, sorry. Exactly.
And it had a wire on it instead of twine, but it was really a neat. So save all your tags like that. You never know. I just throw them in my bin to use later. So that's kind of a funny story about tags.
Okay, the ribbon, I believe, is 1 or 3/8 inch wide. It's not the 1/2 inch, so it's 3/8 inch. As Diane mentioned, it is silk, and it's 25 cents a foot. And those are the colors. It comes in oodles and oodles of color. In fact, I'm going to just walk right over there real quick. And because I had to pull a red ribbon out yesterday, so I know we have lots of colors of that ribbon. And I believe there's even more, and the red is not here because I'm using it on a project. And here's some more down here. And then we also have that grid ribbon that Katie has been using on a lot of her projects. And it's also sold by the roll, this grid ribbon. And the grid ribbon by the roll is $9.99. And it comes in, I think we have most of these colors. The pale pink, hot pink, white, red, orange, apple green, country blue, purple, black, red, brown. I think those are all the colors. Okay. Well, let's see if, let's see, she already left. Diane, everybody loved your project, so good job.
Okay,
you.
miscellaneous product.
Okay, it's under miscellaneous product. That's the heading, miscellaneous product. Yeah. Okay, all right. And is Maggie, yeah.
I'll do
Penny?
mine.
Oh, wait. We got Diane's projects. Okay, Diane has a couple bonus projects that she finished that are amazing.
So Cindy inspired me to make some ephemera folios. So I got 2 of them done. This is kind of a generic one, and then I made a Christmas one, and I used the paper out of the Elizabeth Craft Reminisce books. This is book 1 and this is book 2, and if you haven't bought these, they're awesome.
They're
the
amazing books.
I really hated to use the paper out of them, but I did.
You can buy another one.
I can buy another one. Yeah. So the paper in these, the paper at the beginning is the thin, and I don't know if it says the 120,
120 grams.
grams, and then there's the same prints in the 250. So it's
Kind of
just
unique. You
it
don't find that
is.
very often where you get
And
you get the same paper but two different weights, just
Yep,
depending on how you want to
it's
use it.
Just really cool paper. And this one has some Christmas papers in it, which is just really cool. So I decided to make a couple ephemera, and there is my clip holding this one shut, the big clip out of there. And again, I did a lot of sewing, and you can see my sewing machine did a lot of weird things.
But it's so perfect for this project.
yeah.
I love it. You might need a new sewing machine, but
That's okay. It's perfect for
it is. It really
for
is.
what I do. I use my base is the
Thicker.
the file folders.
Oh.
Yep, that's my base. You can see I started with a gray one and then just covered it with paper. And then just made like lots of different pockets, and I sewed everything in.
The paper packs are $26.99 for book 1 and $28.99 for book 2.
And I didn't make all the pages the same. I just randomly put paper in so they didn't all look the same. And sometimes I kind of followed the paper, and I used tracing paper. I had a tablet of tracing paper at home, so instead of using vellum or acetate, I used tracing paper. And some I only made bigger.
And the reason
Pockets.
you make these is so that your ephemera can all be sorted and you can see it. Then you know
yeah.
exactly what you have, because otherwise your ephemera packs, you can't really see
No.
what you have.
I had them in a big tub, and I just started dividing everything out. So all my butterflies, my seed packets, my birds, flowers, and you can see I kind of followed along the paper here and made little pockets, and I made a side pocket. These were just so much fun to make.
So Diane, on the cover, you used your base is the file folder. Then did you do the heavy or the lightweight
I
paper?
used heavy throughout the whole thing.
Okay.
The thinner stuff was just too thin for this project.
Okay.
You needed,
The thinner you can use on
Yeah.
cards or
yeah. So you can see I just made a variety, and it's almost all full already. Got a few left in the back. But yeah, it was so much fun.
that's a cool.
So then I
project.
decided I needed a Christmas one, because you know I have lots of Christmas stuff. And this one I just took some muslin and tore it and inked it, and there is my tie for this one, because this one's kind of thick. And you can see I need another one.
Gonna have to
already.
make another one.
Yeah. So again, I just randomly made a whole bunch of different pages and just started stitching. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And then I tied it in the middle with some cord. I had to go buy a wide-eyed needle to punch my holes. And so there is my
So
two
what
ephemera.
is that? What you use the wide-eyed needle to punch the holes?
No,
Your Tim
my
Holtz poker.
poker. Paper piercer.
There you go, paper
Yeah,
piercer.
made the holes. And I inked, and it's really just a lot of fun to make. I can't wait to make another one. In fact, I started making another one last night. So
Cindy is going to actually, I believe, one of her upcoming projects is she is going to show us, she's going to make the book from start to finish. So you're going to make the pages, and then you're going to actually punch the holes and then sew it. And she's going to do the book from start to finish. So we all will know how to make these amazing ephemera journals, or I think Cindy's is going to be like a Christmas journal with actual pages in it. But it's the same concept.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you decide you want to turn yours into an ephemera book, you'll be able to do that. And then look at this
Yeah,
pocket.
this is my last page. I decided I pulled out a lot of my bigger stuff, so I'm going to have to make one to keep all my bigger die cuts in too.
Okay, so Dawn wants to know, are your pages folded in half or did you attach them in some other way?
I had to put two pages together, and I took 2 of these pages
Okay.
and overlapped them and glued them, and then I sewed them. It's kind of hard to see, but I did overlap them because they were not big enough.
Yeah.
So you can see where I overlapped them about 1 inch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I just made it the size of my file folder. And then I sewed them.
So it's a little bit smaller than
Yes.
the folder, which is what you'd
The cover,
want.
yep.
Your cover.
Yep.
You want to.
And really I put 4 signatures in here. You could put more, but if it gets too big, it's not going to work. I think you
Just make another one.
Yeah, you just make another one.
Awesome.
So there are my 2 ephemera holders.
Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you. Everybody loved those. Lots of wonderful comments. They love your mixed media project. So thank
you, everybody.
Thank you for sharing those with us. Okay.
Okay.
And we have Penny is here. And Penny showed her project that she's going to share with you. She showed it to the teacher, who would be Katie yesterday, and Katie gave her an A+. So Katie, good job for grading paper so quickly. and Penny did an amazing job on her little album. So and Penny, thank you for sharing this with us today.
Oh, absolutely. So I wanted to do a fall paper bag book. And so I used the Echo Park fall line, and I actually bought the mega pack of paper and the solids coordinating.
Okay, the coordinating solids. So the mega pad has the paper, the collection pack. It has the stickers, doesn't have puffy stickers. It has washi tape. It just has all of the elements that they released. So that's what the mega pad is.
Yep. And I got 2 sheets of stickers, and so then I just followed Katie's ideas, and I created my own fall book. I wanted to use the blue book to pull the blue out of the paper line, and I'm just kind of a sucker for blue. I went ahead and decorated both sides of my pullouts so that it gives me another opportunity to add more pictures.
I just love this. And I love the blue book that you chose, the blue paper bag that you chose to go with all the blue papers in here. So
Yeah.
great job.
Love
Penny.
the blue. So, I mean, things to pull out. Put the little lantern sticker on the front. Put the basket on the back. Her directions are just so great and so easy. Another one to pull out. Put the
Oh,
tractor
I like the
on
tractor.
the back.
And is this the tab punch that you use?
Yes, I definitely use the tab punch. I'm now a believer in the tab punch. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah. There are a few staples that you need in your lives. One's
Yeah.
the Misty, a tab punch, these Project Life lined cards, and then the Dina Wakley 50 pack of both sides of tags. Those are your
Absolutely.
essentials.
So just little flips and folds and places to tuck and use the stickers, and it was just a lot of fun.
Well, you learned from a great teacher, and you did
Yeah.
an amazing job.
Thank
The
you.
papers in this paper line are so fun.
Oh, they are great. And what a great way to end a book. Blessed.
Oh,
So blessed.
I love that book. Are you blessed because you work at Memory Bound?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't consider it work.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure. We're blessed to have you here because you make it so fun. You're
Thanks.
just amazing. Well,
Thanks.
Penny, thanks for sharing that with us.
Sure, no problem.
I love it. So good job. Kristen says she loves her tab punch too. I do too. I've been
Yes,
using mine a
it's
lot.
great.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow is Saturday. Holy cow, it's already the end of the week. We will be back on Monday at 9:30 for our next video. And again, we're going to continue all of next week with our Enchanted Autumn series. There's cards, there's a mini accordion book, so all kinds of projects next week. And they don't have to be using this line, the Enchanted Autumn. You can use any paper line that you like or something that you have, or if you need a birthday, you have a birthday coming up, all of the projects can be used with different paper packs. All right, thanks. Have a wonderful weekend, friends. We're so glad you're tuning in. Have a great day.